Ma Long. Being Ma Long, the greatest table tennis player of his generation, was both a gift and a curse. With Olympic golds, world championships and World Cups, he had nothing left to prove. But that also meant every rival wanted to be the one to take him down. In Tokyo 2020, Ma Long stunned the world by defeating Fan Zhendong for Olympic gold. But in their 2023 showdown, the question was simple. Could Ma Long defy the impossible twice? On March 19, 2023 at the WTT Singapore Smash men's singles final, the air was suffocating. Set 1, the clash began with fire. Ma Long, the dragon himself, unleashed his trademark precision, crisp forehands, unshakable control, reminding everyone why he's a legend. But Fan Zhendong wasn't here to bow down. With raw power and blistering counters, he broke through Ma's rhythm and stormed ahead, crushing the opener 11-5. Set 2, momentum was in Fan's hands, but Ma Long is never an easy man to put away. Point after point, the two traded brutal rallies, Ma with his surgical placement, Fan with thunderous pace. Every shot echoed with tension, every rally drew gasps. At 11-11, the set was on a knife's edge. But Fan, fearless and unflinching, struck twice more to steal this game 2 at 13-11. Set 3, the dragon roared back. Refusing to be outshone, Ma Long raised the tempo, digging deep into his legendary arsenal. His flicks bit sharper, his forehands dug deeper, and this time Fan found no escape. The crowd erupted as Ma clawed one back 11-8, proving the king still had plenty left in the tank. Set 4, now the duel had turned into war. Both men hurled everything they had across the table. Fan's blistering forehands hammering the corners, Ma's majestic control defying gravity itself. At 9-9, it felt like destiny could swing either way. But Fan's youth, power, and sheer determination carved through the tension. With two fearless winners, he snatched it 11-9, one set away from victory. Set 5, the final set was pure drama. Ma Long, fighting like the champion he is, unleashed his experience, his craft, his willpower, refusing to give an inch. But across the table stood Fan Zhendong, the heir apparent, hammering every ball with unrelenting fury. At 9-9, the arena went silent. 2 points would decide it all. And it was Fan, cold, ruthless, unstoppable, who struck him down. 11-9. Match over. Fan Zhendong conquers Ma Long 4-1. If you enjoy watching every match that felt impossible even after watching, make sure to subscribe and hit like. More unbelievable battles from table tennis history are on the way. Hugo Calderano. Hugo Calderano, world number 3 and World Cup champion. Brazil's golden boy. Sponsors lined up. Highlights went viral. His forehand bent angles physics couldn't explain, his defense flipped winners into rallies. He proved a non-Asian could break the monopoly. But across the table, Fan Zhendong was evolving in real time. On June 2, 2024, at the WTT Champions Chongqing men's singles semi-final, the air was suffocating again. Set 1, both players opened with intensity. Hugo's explosive forehand and athletic movement pushed Fan early, forcing long rallies that had the crowd buzzing. But Fan's trademark composure and precise counters steadied the ship. At the key points, he held firm and pulled ahead 11-8, striking first blood. Set 2, riding that early momentum, Fan tightened his grip on the match. His serves were a bit harder, his forehand attacks landed sharper, and suddenly Hugo found himself scrambling. Despite Hugo's creativity and attempts to disrupt the rhythm, Fan's dominance showed through as he cruised to an 11-7 win, doubling his lead. Set 3, Fan was in full flow. Every rally seemed to tilt in his favor as his defense seamlessly turned into offense. Hugo searched for openings, unleashing wide angles and risky winners, but Fan's consistency and firepower shut the door again and again. With a commanding 11-6, Fan stood just one step from a straight sets victory. Set 4, desperate to stay alive, Hugo raised his intensity, pushing Fan into some of the longest rallies of the match. The Brazilian star fought point for point, firing forehands that drew gasps from the crowd. But at the crucial moments, Fan's calm precision once again proved unshakable. With an 11-9 finish, Fan sealed the set, and the match, in a commanding 4-0 sweep, reminding the table tennis world why he is still the man to beat. The impossible feeling came from watching Hugo not just compete, but after the final point, spectators were left shaking their heads in amazement at what they had just witnessed. But Fan Zhendong wasn't finished. If defeating the world number 3 was impressive, what came next elevated this performance into the realm of sporting legend. Wang Chuqin. Wang Chuqin, the world number 2 and world championship champion, stepped up as the next obstacle in Fan Zhendong's path to immortality. On June 3, 2024, when they finally faced off in the WTT Champions Chongqing 2024 men's singles final, the atmosphere was suffocating again. Set 1, the final began with both players trading heavy blows right from the start. Fan's power met Wang's lightning counters and the rallies grew tense. Neither player wanted to blink first, but in the late stages Fan's precision gave him the edge. He closed at 11-9, setting the tone in a gripping opener. Set 2, the second set unfolded almost identically, a battle of margins. Wang pushed the pace with his forehand, testing Fan's defense, but Fan absorbed the pressure and struck back at the critical points. Once again, Fan edged ahead 11-9, and suddenly he was 2 sets clear, looking unstoppable. Set 3, by the third set, Fan was in full control. His serves cut sharply, his forehand ripped through the rallies and Wang found no rhythm. The scoreline, 11-2, told the story of Fan's dominance, a statement set that put him one step from the title. Set 4, but Wang Chuqin wasn't about to go quietly. Digging deep, he steadied his game and began taking the initiative in rallies. His backhand counters found their mark, and for the first time, Fan looked unsettled. Wang clawed back with an 11-8 win, showing his resilience. Set 5, momentum swung sharply as Wang built on his confidence. He dictated play, forcing Fan into defensive positions he rarely occupies. With sharp angles and relentless pressure, Wang ran away with the set 11-6, and suddenly the match had flipped. Set 6, the tension soared. Wang continued to press with fearless attacking, while Fan struggled to regain the rhythm of the early sets. A couple of uncharacteristic errors crept into Fan's game, and Wang seized the moment, taking it 11-8. Against all odds, the match was headed to a deciding 7th set. Set 7, with everything on the line, Fan reset completely. He tightened his serves, unleashed his forehand, and struck with the authority of a champion. Wang fought hard, but Fan's composure and firepower were overwhelming. In dominant fashion, Fan stormed through 11-4, sealing the title in a thrilling 4-3 victory and proving once again why he remains at the very top of the sport. 7 down, and the impossible was starting to look inevitable. Time flew. The Paris 2024 Olympic stage was now unknowingly set for the showdown slowly. If you enjoy watching every match that felt impossible even after watching, make sure to subscribe and hit like. More unbelievable battles from table tennis history are on the way. Tomokazu Haramoto. Then we get to the Paris 2024 Olympic Games table tennis men's singles quarterfinals. On August 1, 2024, Tomokazu Haramoto stepped up to face what many considered an impossible task. The Olympics represent the absolute pinnacle of sporting achievement, and facing Fan Zhendong in a quarterfinal felt like being asked to climb Mount Everest in flip-flops. Set 1, Haramoto came out fearless, hitting fast, relentless shots that left fans scrambling. He took the first set 11-2, shocking the crowd and putting the favorite on the back foot. Set 2, Haramoto kept up the pressure, edging out Fan 11-9. Even the legendary composure of Fan Zhendong looked slightly unsettled as Haramoto sensed the opening. Set 3, Fan regrouped and dominated. He forced Haramoto onto defense and took the set 11-4, showing why he's a world champion. Set 4, Fan carried his momentum, turning tight rallies into counterattacks. He pulled ahead and closed the set 11-7, leveling the match and setting up a thrilling final stretch. Set 5, Haramoto came out blazing, keeping Fan on the back foot. His quick attacks and fearless placement earned him the set 11-4, putting Fan under real pressure. Set 6, Fan regrouped, tightening his serves and counterattacks. Slowly but surely he regained control, taking the set 11-7 and keeping his hopes alive. Set 7, momentum on Fan's side, he played with precision and composure. Haramoto fought hard, but Fan closed the final set 11-7, completing a thrilling comeback. What made this match feel impossible was watching Haramoto not just survive the early onslaught, but actually thrive under pressure that would have crushed lesser players. His ability to adapt his game mid-match and find solutions to problems that Fan Zhendong was presenting showed a maturity that belied his years. But the story doesn't end there. Even after Fan Zhendong battled back to claim victory in a thrilling 7-set final, Another shockwave was unfolding on the other side of the draw. Truls Morgard from Sweden was quietly dismantling opponent after opponent, his unconventional style leaving everyone scrambling for answers. Truls Morgard. On August 4, 2024, Truls Morgard walked into the arena to face what seemed like an impossible mission. The Olympics are the highest stage in sport, and standing across the table was Fan Zhendong, the mountain everyone fears to climb. For Truls, it was like being asked to storm Everest armed with nothing but sheer belief and courage. Set 1. Truls Morgard came out fearless, throwing every trick in the book at Fan Zhendong. With daring angles, bold flicks, and an unshakable confidence, the young Swede stunned the favorite, taking the opener 11-7 and shocking the crowd. Set 2. Fan steadied himself, but Truls refused to back off. Every rally was a knife fight, Fan's raw power against Truls's creativity. At 9-9 the tension was unbearable. But with ice in his veins, Fan edged through 11-9, dragging himself back into the fight. Set 3. The battle only grew fiercer. Truls continued to dazzle with his unpredictability, but Fan's relentless pace began to chip away at the Swede's armor. Once again the set hung in the balance, and once again Fan held firm, sealing another 11-9 and swinging the momentum his way. Set 4. Now in full flow, Fan pressed harder. His forehands cracked like thunder, his counters grew sharper, and slowly he broke through Truls's resistance. The Swede fought tooth and nail, but Fan's precision in the clutch moments carried him to an 11-8 win, moving just one step away from victory. Set 5. Truls, desperate to stay alive, unleashed one last wave of fearless attacks. But Fan Zhendong had locked into champion mode, calm, ruthless, unstoppable. At 8-8 the crowd roared, sensing the storm about to break. And then Fan struck. 3 points in a row, a crushing 11-8. Fan Zhendong triumphs 4-1. He won the Olympic men's single gold. If you enjoy watching every match that felt impossible even after watching, make sure to subscribe and hit like. More unbelievable battles from table tennis history are on the way. Lin Sherdong. Lin Sherdong, the world #1, stood as the final obstacle between Fan Zhendong and a feat that would be remembered for generations. On July 25, 2025, when they finally faced off in the China Table Tennis Super League, the atmosphere was suffocating again. Set 1. Edges and nerves. Lin Sherdong came out fearless, flicking early and pushing Fan onto the back foot. But at deuce, Fan's serve disguise and sudden line change froze Lin, sealing it 12-10. Set 2. Counter adjustments, same result. Lin struck back with sharper angles and daring blocks, dragging Fan wide and forcing longer rallies. Yet under pressure, Fan's composure held again, edging another nail-biter 12-10. Set 3. Fire meets ice. Lin raised the stakes, ripping forehands and testing Fan with bold long serves. But when it mattered most, Fan's depth, spin and cold-blooded placement carried him through 11-9. The impossible feeling came from watching Fan Zhendong's every intense competition. Fan Zhendong has faced Ma Long, Hugo Wang Chuqin, Tomokazu Harimoto, Truls Morgard, and Lin Sherdong. Each clash pushed the limits of what table tennis could be, leaving the crowd breathless as the impossible unfolded before their eyes. After watching these impossible matches, which of these matches shocked you the most? Comment below and share your thoughts with the reason why.